Okay, bedtime lucky. So we'll start with a bit of a stretch. So opening the legs outwards. We've got a bit of an inner thigh and glute focus today. So I wanted to start with a bit of opening through these areas. So take your arms out wide. Let your left hand come down towards the floor. Reach your right hand over your head. Feel a stretch down the right side of your body. Up over and to the other side. Left hand goes overhead. Right hand comes to the floor. You might notice as you go over to the side that your opposite knee wants to lift. Try and push it down towards the ground so that you get that opening. And one more over to the right. Good, hold there. I want you to turn forwards, reach your left hand towards your right ankle and feel a bit of a twist through your spine, supporting yourself with your right hand. Have a breath in. And then as you breathe out, open your chest back towards the front, and we'll go over to the left side. Reach the right hand overhead, pausing there, rotating forwards, bringing the right hand towards the left ankle. Hold for a breath, and out. Open back up to the middle, and hold here. Keeping the arms wide, we're now going to rotate the body. So turn your body to the left. Feel a little twist through your spine, back to the middle, and then turn around to the right. And again, feel that twist through your spine. I like to add a couple of little pulses as I get to the end of the movement. So I turn and I do 2 little pulses, getting that little bit of extra twist. So let's inhale as we rotate and then exhale as we pulse. Inhale, rotate, exhale, pulse. As you're twisting, try and feel that you're really using your abdominals here to help support you. And you can imagine like you're a corkscrew. So as you rotate, it's like you're getting taller, not sinking down. You're growing upwards. Let's go pulse, pulse. One more to the left. Pulse, pulse, back to the middle. Last stretch here. We're going to bring the left hand down towards the inside of the left ankle and then reach the right arm overhead. And you'll just feel that all of these stretches are kind of angling at different parts of your waist and around the spine. Let's reach a little bit deeper if you can. Stretch a little bit further towards that left foot. Good, and hold there. Reaching back up to the middle. Find the right hand towards the inside of the right ankle, and we'll go left arm overhead. Finding that left side stretch first. Reach a little deeper if you can, anchoring that left knee down to the ground. Hold here for a big breath in, and out, and then come back up to the middle. Give the shoulders a roll, bring the legs into a cross position, and we're just going to do a bit of a neck stretch now. So let's take the left ear towards the left shoulder. Feel a stretch through the right neck side. Turn to look at your left armpit and feel that stretch more through the back of the neck. And then still tipping over to the left, we're going to turn to the ceiling and feel slightly more through the front of the neck. Back to the side, look down, roll over to the right, and then we'll feel the stretch down the left side of the neck. Let's hold here, then look down towards the right armpit. Hold there, and then look up towards the ceiling and feel the stretch a little bit more through the front of the neck. And hold there. Good, look back towards the front, and then we'll just roll down towards the lap, over to the left, down towards the lap, over to the right, and one more time down and over to the left. Come back to the middle and roll out your shoulders. Okay, so come and lay down on your back now. Lying down with your knees bent, and we'll just lay flat on our backs. Once you're there, we're going to take another twisting stretch. Arms are wide. One of my favorites. We've done this a few times. Now, with your arms wide, I want you to bend your elbows so your hands drop back towards the floor. So we're in that chest stretch position. Take your feet as wide as your mat. Rock your knees over to the right-hand side. Feel your left knee come towards your right ankle. And then come back to the middle. Rock your legs towards the left side and feel your right knee come towards your left ankle. Over to the right. Good. And then over to the left. Now, if this feels like enough for you, stay here. If you'd like more of a stretch, bring your legs together and towards your chest. From here, we're rocking to the right without letting that left elbow lift. If you can bring your knees to the floor, that's great. If you can't, just stop wherever you can by keeping the left elbow on the ground. Come back through the middle and then over to the left without letting the right elbow lift. Middle and right. Good. And then middle and left. Come back through the center. We're just going to take our elbows up a little higher. So you'll feel a slightly different stretch now. The elbows are now a little bit higher than the shoulders, still on the ground. And you'll feel a bit more of a stretch through your chest here as you come over to the side. Let's just do one more to each side here. Over. Good. And over. Good. All right, so we should feel a little bit warmed up now. The spine's been moving. Let's come into our adductor bridge sequence. So we're going to have both feet on the floor at all times today. We won't be taking our legs up into any single leg bridges. We'll get you to start with your hands by your sides, palms facing the ceiling. Feet are hip width apart. So they're not too close together here, but not too wide apart. Tuck your bottom in. Feel your lower back flatten against the floor. Feel that you're pulling your pubic bone towards your belly button, and then press through your heels to lift your hips up off the floor. We're going to hold there. Hips stay nice and level. We bring the knees together. Touch the knees together, open them back apart, and then roll the spine back down. Good, really sinking through the lower back, and then the tailbone comes down last. Let's tuck under again, squeezing through the buttock muscles, peel the spine up towards the ceiling, and let's do 2 of those knee taps. 1, 2, legs come back to hip width, and then we roll back down. So we're going to be layering on an extra one of those knee taps every time we raise up. Let's raise up again. Ribs and hips draw together. We squeeze 3, 2, 1, and then we roll back down. Again, bone by bone. So I want you to use this exercise as a spinal articulation exercise. So get used to moving your spine one bone at a time. 2 more there. And also a bit of a strengthening exercise. So we're starting to feel the backs of the legs switch on, just engaging the abdominals a little bit to help support you. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and roll down. And at the top half of your body, we're going to do 6 now. At the top half of your body, keep the collarbones broad and try and keep your neck relaxed here. Don't push through your arms. That's why I've got your palms facing upwards. 4, 5, 6, good, rolling down. 10 will be our last round, so you know where you're going. We should be feeling the inner thighs active to squeeze those knees towards each other. It's almost like there's a magnet in between the knees and they don't want to come together, but you have to force them. Good, roll down, that was 7. This time we've got 8. Press through your heels predominantly, but keep your feet flat on the floor. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Well done. 3, 2, 1. Roll down. 2 more rounds. I'm definitely feeling that in the legs. Let's hold high for 9, 8, 7. While you're in your bridge, keep thinking about all the positions that we lined up at the start. Ribs are down, hips are pulling in, buttock muscles are squeezing. Let's roll down, and we've got 1 more round, our round of 10. So let's roll it up, hold the hips nice and high, sink the ribs down, and we'll go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Make sure those knees touch every time. 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees apart and roll down. Well done. Bring your knees towards your chest. Hold the tops of your knees with one knee for each hand, and then just draw some circles with your knees. Open the hips up. Around, we'll go 3 times one way, and then let's go back the other way for 3. Good. 2 and 1. We're going to leave our legs alone now. We will come back to them later, but we'll move on to our abdominals now. So pop your feet back down on the ground while we set up. We need to think about those inner thighs working again with this exercise. So let's glue the knees together. Head can rest flat on the floor to begin with. And if at any point you don't feel comfortable doing the chest lift, Pop your head down and you'll still get just as much out of the exercise for your lower abdominals. So we're going to take our hands to the ceiling. Shoulder blades rest flat onto the floor, so not rounding upwards, drawing flat. Squeeze the knees together. Switch on through your lower abdominals. Feel the pelvic floor lifting internally. And then we're going to float both feet off the floor together, as if it was just one leg. And then we'll tap those toes back down together, and then lift both feet back up together. Let's exhale to tap and inhale to lift. Good. Keep going here. So we're gluing the knees together by using the inner thighs. And then we're controlling the neutral spine by drawing the belly button towards the spine. We want to feel a tension between those hip bones. And if you quickly pop your hand on your tummy, you'll feel whether you've got that control, because your stomach will be flat. It won't be popping outwards against your hand. Let's do 2 more here. Well done. And 1 more. Tap the floor nicely and then come back to tabletop. Hold there. We're going into some rotation. So keep those shoulder blades resting on the floor. Rock your knees a little bit to the left. Feel the right hip lift. Well done. Back to the middle. Rock your knees a little bit to the right. Feel the left hip lift. You'll notice I'm not going far. I don't have great control with this exercise, and I can just feel if I go any further, I'll start to compensate through my shoulders. So what I'd like you to feel as you do this exercise is that the weight that rests at the back of your shoulder blades doesn't change. So as I'm rocking to the left, my right hip lifts, but my right shoulder doesn't lift. And as I rock to the right, my left hip lifts, but my left shoulder doesn't. Let's go another 2 to each side. Rocking over, good, and back, and over, oops, a bit far, and back. 1 more to the left, and then 1 more to the right. We're going to hold here on the right. Don't come back to the center. Straighten your knees towards the ceiling and bend. We're here for 5. Keep pulling in through the tummy. 4. As your legs straighten, point them upwards so the thighs don't move. It's just the knees extend from where those thighs are. 2. And 1 more. We're going to bend the knees after this. Holding there, place your hands behind your head. Interlace your fingers, support the weight of your head in your hands. We're doing oblique crunches towards the left hip. So we're curling up, looking over the left hip, and then lying back down. Let's breathe out as we lift. Breathe in as we lower. Feel that that left hip is not resting on the ground. So you're sort of teetering on the right side of your pelvis. And as we lift up, we look over the left hip and we feel that the right rib comes towards the left hip. We've got another 6. Try and use your breathing. 5, 4. Good. 3 more here. 3. Drawing lower and upper abdominals in. 2. 1 more, lift up and hold. Hold here. We straighten and bend the legs. We've got 5. 4. We've got a little bit to go after this one. 2. If you need to rest your head down, please do. 3. Good. If otherwise, stay lifted. 2. 1 more. Let's straighten the legs. If you would like to bend them, you can. Reach your hands over your left hip and pulse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands go back behind the head, knees bend and come back to the middle. Let's hold here. We're staying lifted in our chest lift and we're going back to our toe taps. Exhale, tap the floor. Inhale, lift. We've got 8 of these. Exhale, tap. Good. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tap. Try and keep your knees at a 90-degree angle. So as your legs move away from you, it's the hips that are doing the movement, not the knees just bending down. 4. Stay lifted. 3. Doing well. 2 more. 2. And 1 more. Come back to tabletop and rest your head down. Arms reach to the ceiling. Well done. All right, let's rock our knees to the left. Hold here. We've got our leg extensions. So we exhale, straighten, inhale, bend. We're here for 5. Well done. 4. So again, the thigh doesn't move. The knees just straighten towards the ceiling from where the leg is already started. 3, 2, so I think I'm doing an extra one, and 1. Bend the knees, hands behind your head. Let's curl up towards that right hip. We exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Looking over the right hip. Inhale, lower, back down. As you lift, you think of your left rib this time, coming towards your right hip. Good. Well done. Lift up and lower down. We've got another 6 here before we hold it at the top. 5, 4, 3, keeping the weight of your head heavy in your hands. 2, and hold it at the top. Straightening the legs again and bend. 5, 4, 3, good. 2, and 1. Keep them straight. Reach the arms over your right hip and pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to the middle, hands behind the head. Last round of toe taps. Let's exhale, tap. Inhale, lift. Abs should be on fire right now. Exhale, tap. Inhale, lift. Imagine you've just got one big leg. It's tapping down lightly and then lifting up. As your toes tap, your back stays neutral. Let's go 4. This is it. We'll stretch after this. 3, good. 2, and 1. And rest. Hug the knees to the chest. That was hard. Well done. I definitely felt that. It's rocking side to side. We're actually not done with our abdominals yet, so have a decent break here. You can draw some more of those hip circles if you like, or you can just put your feet down, rock your legs side to side. Do whatever you feel you need, because the next set's not as long as that, I promise. But now we're going to combine our inner thighs with our abdominals again. All right, so what we're going to do is start with our knees at tabletop. So bring one leg and then the other. Hold there. Bring your feet together, but open your knees apart. So you've created a little diamond shape out of your legs. So you started with your legs glued together, the knees just open out, but the feet stay together. In this position, the knees should still be pretty well above the hips, so you're not tucked in, and the shin bones should still be quite horizontal, so we're not lifting up or dropping down there. Feet are glued together, hands are behind the head. We've got another set of crunches. So let's exhale, curl forward, inhale, lie back down. Let's go for 8, 7, good, 6, well done. Now with your crunches, make sure the movement starts at your rib cage. So if you breathe in on the way down, breathe out as you lift, and let that exhale kind of sink the ribs down in towards your stomach. And that will help you to reduce the strain on your neck muscles. If the ribs start the movement, you'll find that the head and neck just follow. Let's do 3 more here. Good. 2. 1 more, lift up and hold. Reach the arms between the legs. We've got another set of pulses here. Exhale, pulse. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands back behind the head, well done. We're gonna stay lifted, or if you want, you can rest your head back down. From here, straighten your knees away from you. Squeeze your legs together, toes come apart. Bring the legs back to tabletop, toes come back together. So exhale, straighten the legs, toes come apart. Inhale, bend the knees, toes come back together. All the while, the heels are glued together. So if you've ever done reformer Pilates, this will remind you of your frog press when you've got your feet in the straps. Let's go for another 4. Good, drawing through here. Put your head down if you want. 3, squeeze the knees together. 2, good. 1 more, straighten the legs, hold here, reach the hands towards the knees. Last set of pulses. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest. That's it for abdominals for now. Well done. That should really be burning. Give those knees a little rock side to side before we go into some glute work lying on our sides. Okay, let's roll onto our right side first. So head is under the, head is resting on the upper arm. We're going to stretch out the front of the hip here. So grab your left ankle, pull your heel towards your bum, and then pull your knee back behind you. Now this position is likely to just feel maybe like you're arching your back. So once you're there, tuck your bottom under and really pull the pelvis forward, and then it should feel like quite a deep stretch through your left thigh rather than just arching through your back. Holding here. One more breath in and out, let it go. Okay, so I want you to keep your bottom leg bent. That's going to help stabilize you here for our side lying glute series. And your head rests on your upper arm, so your neck should be comfortable. Push your left hip away from you, make that gap under your left waist, and just have a look and check that your left hip's not rolling back. So your knees should be stacked directly on top of each other at the moment. We're going to stretch that left leg out nice and long. Reach it away from you and hold here. I'm just going to start with a few little pulses, raising that foot up and down, that leg I should say. And as the leg lifts, the waist stays long, so there's no closing down of that side waist there. Pulsing here for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now I've got another layering exercise. So we're going to bend the knee forwards, open the leg once, and then straighten the leg back out. Good. Bend in again and we'll open twice. As your knee opens, keep the knee at 90 degrees and then press out. Lift the foot with the knee. So it's not a funny twist, it's a whole leg lift. 2 and 1 and then press out. Good. Every time you press out, I want you to stretch long. Let's bend in for 4, 3, good, 2 and 1 and press out. Bend in for 5. Now that bottom leg should be really relaxed. If your pelvis is moving around or you're not stable through the waist, you'll find that you're pressing through your bottom leg. See if you can relax the bottom leg and use your core abdominals, that deep abdominal muscle TA, to keep the bottom leg relaxed so that your body stays square. And that was 6. Let's go for 7. Good. Should be feeling the left butt. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press out. Reach long. 8. You can tell we're going to 10, like we did with our first exercise. 4, 3, 2, 1. Press it out. 2 more rounds. Bend in. Let's open for 9, 8. Good. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Definitely burning. Press it out. If it's too much, you can stop there. But if you're keeping up, let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. We've got to stretch after this. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the knee forward, put the foot on the ground and press your leg away. Okay, so that got that left glute going, I'm sure. Got mine going. We're going to move into a 4-point kneeling exercise next, and we're going to keep working on that left glute, but into a bit more of your hip extension, so your glute max. So come over onto your hands and knees from here, palms on the floor. We did a pretty good practice of 4-point kneeling last week. So remember that cue of pressing your chest away from the ground. So you actually want to feel like you're rounding your shoulder blades. So instead of sinking down, you're pushing up. So you've got a bit of energy through those arms, pressing the ground away. Now, like we did in the past, let's press down through the left hand and the right knee. And in doing that, you should feel your left knee instantly become a little bit lighter. Let's straighten the left leg out behind and then hover the left leg off the floor. Now we're here for 10 little pulses up towards the ceiling. I want you to actively squeeze your left buttock. You're going to need to squeeze it or you will end up arching through your back and sagging. So this exercise is not about how high you go, it's about how well you do it. And the height that you'll be able to get your leg is completely dependent on your flexibility through the front of your hip, and a little bit dependent on your strength as well. Let's draw some circles. We'll go around one way for 10, and then we'll go around the other way. 5, 4, squeezing the left buttock, 3, 2, 1. Let's go back the other way for 10. 9, nice and strong through the arms. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold there. Now you're going to wave your left leg to the side and bring it back. Waving out, and then imagine you've got your toes resting on your coffee table, and so your leg stays at the same height. It's like you're just sliding your foot left and right across the top of that table, pressing through the palms. Let's go 3, 2, 1 more. Bring the leg back, hold it here. Option to reach your right arm forward, and we count to 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back to your 4-point kneeling position. From here, we keep going on our left glute. We're going to step that left foot forward in between your hands. Okay. From there, I want you to tuck your right toes under, stretch your right leg out straight. Okay. Come up onto your fingertips. We are moving into a lunge. I'm going to try and do this as seamlessly as possible. So you're going to need to push down through your left heel. Your right toes will stay on the ground. Push through that left heel, squeeze through the left glutes, and reach your arms long. Point them forward. We've got 10 tipped over pulses here, and we're going to do 10 upright pulses. We've got another 5 here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay with me. Let's go upright for 10, 9, driving through the left heel. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done. Hands back to the ground. Stay with me. We're going into a side plank next. We'll have a little twist first. Right hand to the ground, left hand to the ceiling. Hold that twist. I can feel that stretching that whole left side of my leg, where we've just been working quite hard. So to get into our side plank, from here, we're going to roll into the outside edge of that, on the outside edge of that right foot. We're going to press through the right palm and see if we can pick that left leg up and pop it on top of the right foot, holding here. However, you can go down onto your knees, all right, into a side plank. I'd probably go elbow, knee. For the rest of us, promise that wasn't just to take a break. We're up in our plank. We dip for 8 and lift. 7. Now, another option as well is to put your left foot in front of your right foot if you're finding the balance a bit tricky. Let's go 5, lifting through the right waist. 4, 3, 2, 1 more, lift and hold. Come over onto your front. Hold your front plank just for a moment. And then we're going to do a bit of yoga here. We're going to lower ourselves down to the ground as slowly as we can and come to rest. Well done. Untuck the toes. Press up through your palms and lift your chest. And we'll just hold here for a moment. That was good. That was tough. I was really hoping that was going to work. And let's hold here. Breathe in and out. Whew, enjoy that break. We all know what's next. We'd have to do it all again on the other side. So let's come down, press up from there, and now we will be lying down on our left side. No fancy movements to get from one side to the other. So let's lie down. Left arm out long this time. Right hand on your hip. Push that hip away from you. Get that length through your right waist and the gap under your left waist. Knees are bent. Have a look at them. They should be stacked directly on top of each other. From here, we stretch the right leg out nice and long. Reach it away from you. Really stretch it out. And when you're ready, let's bend the knee forwards. We open, we close, and then we stretch out. Good. Bend in again, and then we open for 2 and 1, and then we stretch out. So we're working our way up to 10 again. And just a few sort of reminders for this side, like the last side. It's an opening from the hip. So the leg really remains unchanged. That bend in the knee and the alignment of the shin, it's just like there's a little hinge through that right hip that's causing that opening and closing. And we'll bend in for 5 this time. Remember, you want to use your abdominals here so that you're really sturdy from the waist up, because if you're not using there, you're going to find that you're using your bottom leg, or that you're wobbling around and you're not able to get that nice isolated lateral glute. Switching on. 3, 2, and 1. Stretch it out. Up to 7. Let's bend and open. 6. Good. Try and keep that head and neck really relaxed. 3. Lifting from the knee. 2 and 1. Pressing out long. Again, like we were on our backs before, if you've done reformer Pilates, you'll recognize this as your side lying foot in the strap exercise. One of a few of them. And 1, press it out. We've got 2 more rounds. Let's go for 9. Open and close. Try and keep breathing through this. If you can, exhale to lift and inhale to lower. That's ideal, but just keep breathing whatever rate you can. I feel a little out of breath, so I'm not breathing very well. Press out, and here we go for 10. We get our nice stretch after this. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, bending, 2, 1. Well done. Grab that ankle, pop your foot in front of your opposite thigh and push the knee away from you. When you do this stretch, really stick your bum out. Okay, if you're tucking your bottom in, you won't feel much. If you sort of stick your hips out behind you as you push the knee away, then you'll get that right hip stretching. Good. All right, coming onto our hands and knees. Palms on the floor. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees directly underneath the hips. Think of connecting through the front of your stomach wall so you're not sagging. And when you're ready, press through your right palm, your left knee, for your right knee, get a little bit lighter. Slide it along, lift it up, and let's pulse. Squeezing through your glute max this time, the bigger butt muscle. 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Little circles, round we go. Keep the back of the neck long here. Imagine you've got a little apple or an egg, something that you're trying not to squash under your chin, and you're just holding it there gently. Let's go back the other way so that you're not poking your chin forward. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold here, tummy on. Let's wave the leg out and in. Good. Remembering that visual of having your toes resting on top of your coffee table. Last 5 here before we reach that left arm out in front. 3, 2, and 1. Hold your leg in line with your body. Reach your left arm for 10, 9. Keep the tummy drawing in. 7. Push up through that right shoulder. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done. Rest there. Okay. Here we go for our lunge. Bring the left foot forward in between the 2 hands. Keep your left hand on the ground. Open your right hand to the ceiling. Get that nice twist. Feel that stretching all down that leg where we've just worked it. Opening your chest as well. Good. All right. So straighten into the back leg. Stretch it out behind you. We're going to press through the right heel. When you're ready, reach the arms long over in front of you, and we pulse here for 10. And then we're going into an upright lunge for 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay with me. Let's go high. Pulsing here, pressing through that right heel. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands down. Come back into that twist. Open out onto the outside edge of your left foot. Press through your left palm. Make sure you're using that left waist. Bring your right foot on top of your left. Once you're there, let's pulse down through the hips and up just for 8, 7, 6, 5, really lifting through the left side. Last 3, 2, and 1. Lift up high, rotate over onto your front plank. We're on our toes, tailbone tucked. We lower slowly down, keep those elbows tight by your sides, lowering down and come to rest. Lift through the palms, stretching the chest forwards, holding while you catch your breath. Well done, guys. That was a really tough sequence. Definitely feeling that. Okay, coming up out of that position, let's sit back into child's pose. Let your toes be together, your knees be apart. Reach your hands forward, bring your forehead to the ground. Let your elbows rest on the ground as well. Let's make this a really effortless child's pose. Hands are relaxed, shoulders are relaxed, forehead is on the floor. Breathing in and out. Think of really sitting your tailbone back towards your heels. One more big breath in here. And out. Come forwards again. We're going to revisit our tricep push-ups. This is the last little bit of effort for class before we stretch. So can you bring your knees together and then walk your hands out in front of you a little bit. You can readjust whenever you need to. We're going to sink our weight forwards over the hands. And once you get there, tuck your bottom in. So this is as much a core exercise as it is an arm exercise. Before we move, I want you to do some of your scapular isolation. So let your chest sink down and then press your chest away from the floor. We'll do 5 of these. Elbows stay straight. Chest sinks, shoulder blades come towards each other. And then we press away from the floor and the shoulder blades come apart. Another 3. Good. 2. And 1 more. Sink down and then press up and away. Now, feel that those shoulder blades stay apart. Feel that your ribs and hips are drawing towards each other. And then we're going to bend the elbows, keeping them narrow, keeping your weight predominantly on the heels of your hands, and then you're going to press back away. We're only here for 5. That's all I can do. Now, narrow elbows, sink down and press. 4. 3 more here. Good, really press away from the ground. Last 2. And 1 more. Sink, press, and child's pose again. Sit back on your heels. This time we're going to walk our hands over to the right hand side of the mat. Let that left shoulder area stretch. Hold here for a breath. In and out. Walk your hands now over to the left hand side of your mat. Feel your right shoulder stretch. Breathe in and out. Back through the center. Come back onto your hands and knees. Tuck your toes under. Press through the balls of your feet. Lift your hips up. Sit your weight, your chest, back towards your thighs and hold here. We're going to pedal out our legs. That feels nice. Get a really good stretch. And then we'll finish with our pigeon stretch after this. So pushing one heel at a time back into the floor. That feels nice and tight in the morning. Good. 1 more for each side. And then come forward into a plank. Step your right ankle behind your left wrist. Let your right knee come to the ground. Stay tall through your chest. Stay straight through your elbows at first. So we want to just find the stretch. So through your right hip, you want to be sort of sinking it backwards, not rolling it forwards. Sit the right hip back, twist the left hip forward. Then you'll get your pelvis nice and square. If you're in that square position now, if you look at your hips and you can see that your left hip is pointing at the floor, then you're welcome to come down to your elbows. And if you still feel like you want more, you can come down, rest your head on the ground and hold here. We're going to be here for 30 seconds, so don't be alarmed if we're here for a while. It's just a nice stretch to really sink into. And we did do some pretty intense lateral glute work, so I want to just really release the outside of the hip here. Let's hold for another 10 seconds there. Breathing in and out as you do. 3, 2, 1. Press through the palms, lift your chest up again and hold there. Good. When you're ready, step that right foot back. Come back up into a plank. Bring your left ankle towards your right wrist. Left knee towards the left wrist. Stay tall through your chest while we arrange your hips. You'll find that they kind of want to go a bit skewed in this stretch. So if you're nice and square, you can come down onto your elbows. And if you still want more, come down, forehead on the ground and hold. I'm going to stay on my elbows on this side. My left hip's a bit tight. Holding here again for 30 seconds. Breathing in and out. Good. Pressing up through your palms, come back into our extended position. Good. Press up through the right toes. Let's come to sitting, facing the front. Give your shoulders a roll. Let's do 3 backwards. And then 3 forwards. And we'll just finish with some of those neck rolls. So tip the head to the side, look down to the ground, rotate over to the other side, hold here, and then tip to the floor. 1 more to each side. Round and across. And then down and across. And you're all done. Thank you very much. That's the end of class. Good work.